Hello and welcome to my channel, Eat, Breathe, Move, Glow. Today's video, I'm going to share with you how I went from not even being able to make it through my day because I had such chronic fatigue to now being able to go from 5:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night and completely enjoy everything I do and feel no sense of dread, no sense of exhaustion. And it's all because I created my own strategy and my own system for protecting my energy and taking back my energy. That's what today's video is all about. I'm Jessica Leibovich, and this channel is all about how to get to the best version of yourself, the healthiest version of yourself, the most beautiful version of yourself with ease, joy, and alignment, no matter what age you are. I am 50 years old and now I am in the best shape I have ever been in my life. And not only that, I have more energy and I'm happier than ever before. And nothing really has changed in my life circumstantially, but I have made big changes to how I do things. And that is what today's video is about. Today's video is all about energy. And the first thing I want to tell you is that you are in control of your energy. You are in control of keeping it, protecting it, reserving it, and making sure that it is not given to people or things that don't deserve it. So I want to stress radical responsibility. And that is really good for everything in your health. But taking radical responsibility is huge when it comes to your energy. Okay. We are hemorrhaging energy, and our world today is designed to steal our energy. It literally takes our energy the second we wake up until we go to bed. Things are pulling at us in every single direction. And so, getting control of this is going to be the key to finding joy in your life. Because if we don't have energy, we cannot enjoy the simple things in life. There are three levels of things that take our energy, and they are the essentials, which are like kids, partners, job, bills. Then they are the chosen things, which might be social engagements or volunteer work, church. And then there are the external things. And the external things are things like social media, politics, traffic, arguing with strangers, those types of things are external. So I'm going to share with you how to make sure that these things are under control. One of the first things we want to look at is our breath. Now, our breath is something that we don't often think about, and I don't want you to just think this is not important. It is so important. In fact, it's one of the biggest things that changed my energy for me. Understanding that when we are stressed or we have anxiety, our breath is in a state of shallow breathing and fast breathing. And we need to take the time to do deep breaths. So, taking 3 deep breaths once an hour is going to be the first thing you want to do to make change. Now, let's do that right now. Do that with me so we can start right now. Do you feel that? Do you feel different? Because I do. I feel more peaceful, but you will actually notice your energy level going up when you do that. I promise you, it is a game changer. Okay. So your breaths are going to be the first thing that you want to look at. The second thing you want to look at is your needs. And that could be looked at as self care. Okay. So when you think about your life as like a balance beam, are you giving so much to your kids that their needs are going way up here and your needs are going way down there? Or your work? You're going to fall off the balance beam if you don't watch out. That's what you want to look at. Now, understanding too that by giving to your kids, by giving to your family, you don't necessarily lose energy by doing that. But if you are giving and giving and giving and not giving to yourself, that is where the problem comes in. And I always say, if you know, you know. We all have an internal dial. We know if our needs are getting met or not. And so being honest with yourself is really important. And by giving to yourself, you can be a better mom. You can be a better person. You can be a better employee. You can just be better overall. Self care is not selfish. So self care is right after breath. Now, the next thing that you want to think about is energy vampires. These are a problem. And some of us are more sensitive than others, but really understanding that people will drain your energy. Do you have a friend or a family member who is constantly asking you for help or always talking about their problems, but they never ask you about what's going on in your life or how you're doing? They are an energy vampire. Or have you ever had a work meeting where after the meeting you just feel drained or you have a headache? There was probably an energy vampire in that room. And don't get me wrong, we can't completely avoid these people, but what do? We need to set boundaries. That is so important. Setting boundaries is going to be a game changer for your energy. We do not have a infinite amount of energy. We have a finite amount of energy. And so we need to make sure that we can serve it wherever we possibly can. So make sure that you are conserving your energy by setting boundaries with energy vampires. Do you see how all of these come back to radical responsibility? There are things that you can do internally. Another thing that you want to make sure you're aware of is your triggers. Triggers are big stealers of energy all the time. And these can come in different forms. But when you have an argument with somebody, especially somebody that you don't even know that well, and it's triggering you and it's stealing your energy, it is taking more than it is giving. And this comes in the form of many things: politics, traffic, customer service could be another one. Just any sort of frustration you're dealing with, when you are giving so much energy to that situation, but you're not getting anything in return, you are letting that situation take your power and you're not getting anything for it in return. When you think of us as a human being with a finite source of energy, here is you. The energy is going out all day long as soon as you wake up. But what is giving you energy? That is really what you want to look at. So, some other things that can be taking your energy are things like social media, blue light. These are things that right when we wake up in the morning, we grab our phone. If you can keep your phone up for 30 minutes to an hour in the morning and an hour to 2 hours before bed, you are giving yourself a gift of energy. By keeping your phone off, you are going to have so much more energy throughout the day. the blue light steals your energy. And we're looking at it all day long. So be mindful of the blue light because that's something that's not talked about very often. And it's all your devices. And sometimes you don't even have to be looking at it. And in addition to the blue light, it's information overload. And that comes with all of the news, the politics, everything. And I'm not saying that you can't be concerned or you can't care, but you have to look at how much are you caring in relation to how much are you giving. So some of the things that we can do to get our energy back, because we want to make sure that we are also getting energy instead of just monitoring that our energy is not leaving. Some of the things that you can do, nature will give you energy. It is proven that trees give energy. There is a Japanese study that talks about how trees give energy. But not only that, it has more oxygen. I can't write and talk at the same time. Has more oxygen. And what else does it have? It has vitamin D. I'm going to say this again. Our society is designed to steal our energy. In fact, they're taking down the trees and parks, they're taking away parks. A lot of cities just look like concrete jungles. So it truly is a gift to yourself to spend time in nature. And there are 3 supplements that I use to manage my energy, to balance my energy. And I am not somebody who takes a lot of supplements. These are the only 3 I take because energy is so important to me and they have really helped me balance my energy. And that is vitamin D, that is magnesium, and these 2 work together. They will help your circadian rhythms, they will help you sleep better, and they will give you more energy. And the last one is creatine. If you are a woman over 40, creatine is going to be your friend. I highly recommend it. The last thing that I want to mention, because I want to make sure this video is not too long, is auditing your energy throughout the day. And so, really checking in, we have natural highs and lows for our energy and being able to monitor how we're feeling so we can better prepare ourselves and not overextend ourselves. Saying no, setting boundaries is going to be a huge thing. So, I want to go over all of the things that I mentioned that are going to help you conserve your energy. And I know you probably thought I was going to say diet and hydrating yourself, but honestly, those are so important. And I will talk about those in another video. But if you don't get these measures down, it doesn't matter your diet because you will still be hemorrhaging energy. So we talked about self care, deep breathing. There are a lot of great breathing techniques on YouTube. And when you are working on your breath, you want to try to extend the exhale as long as you possibly can, as long as you can. Setting boundaries, with those energy vampires. We talked about getting in nature. And these are the exact things that I did to turn my chronic fatigue around. Minimizing blue light, and that means turning your phone off before you go to bed and keeping it off when you wake up. That is going to be so key. What else did we talk about? Minimizing triggers. And then energy audits. Okay, so these things plus the 3 supplements are going to be a game changer for your energy. This is how I turned my energy around. And I will be honest with you, some of it requires big changes. Some people may need to leave a relationship if that relationship is really draining them. So don't expect this to be an overnight thing. Other people may need to change jobs. Other people may need to set strong boundaries with their children. Maybe you have adult children who are still asking a lot from you. They're still living at home or they don't have the wherewithal to take care of themselves yet. These are all things that are not changed overnight, but they are hemorrhaging your energy. And so I promise you, when you start to take a good look and get into that internal dial, remember, if you know, then you will move forward with claiming your energy, claiming your power, and finding joy in life with the things that have been hard for you to find joy with. If this is something that you struggle with, I would love to know if this video helped you. I would love to be able to help you further. Make sure you check the link in my bio. I do free calls if you want to chat. I also have my free grocery glow up reset guide, which will help you get all the foods in your kitchen that give you energy, that strengthen your life force. And I promise you, midlife is not a decline. It is truly the second act of something amazing. You can take your power back, you can take your health back, and be the best version of yourself. So until the next video, stay glowing.